You sure this is not a misprint right now? This is real deal, what we're getting.
This is the real deal. You're
How many
getting
of these guys
8
am I
of
getting?
the Sponge Daddies. Which marries the flex texture material with the brand new Resifoam. And then you're getting the Soap Daddy, which dispenses soap from the bottom and from the top. I'm going to show you how that works. And then the Sponge Caddy, which allows you to put your Scrub Daddies, your Scrub Mommies, or your sponges in the sink.
Why you got in the packet? There you go. There you go. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what I love about this, look at this. It allows you to dispense from the bottom. You squeeze from the bottom, gives you a measured amount of soap.
And it doesn't drip?
It doesn't drip.
Oh!
And then look at this. I'm going to just put some water here on the sponge. And then it allows you to tap the top. And you get a measure.
Oh, I love that!
So I have this on my sink.
Love that,
I use it every single day.
Yeah, man.
You take your Sponge Daddy or your Scrub Daddy or your Scrub Mommy and you literally just tap. This is all I do. You tap the top and it gives you a measured amount of soap.
There's no reorder on this ever. Guys, how many of these do we have to go around? A 10-piece cleaning set. I mean, this is worth it just for the
I agree.
For the Sponge Daddies alone. So let's put it to work. People who are not familiar with this brand, I know you're going to explain this.
Yeah, so what they wanted, typically a double-sided sponge looks like this. All right, so you have sponge on this side and you have this textured material, which by the way scratches and stinks. People like that square size, the rectangle, so he said, okay, can we do that with the Scrub Daddy material? So this is what it is. It's the flex texture Scrub Daddy material on one side, and the other side has a Resifoam, which is super, super absorbent. In fact, absorbs more than 3 times the weight of this guy and also generates 77% more suds. But let's use the flex texture, because that's really what revolutionized kind of the sponge business. So we're putting it in cold water. That firms up that flex texture. And to show you that, and it's not going to scratch, which is hugely important because your typical double-sided sponge, my friend, scratches. This is not going to scratch. So that cold water has firmed up the flex texture. You scrub through that mess that wasn't coming off with the spatula. Cameron burned this on for about a half hour. And then because you have a Resifoam side, watch this. Okay. You scrub, you flip, and you wipe.
Got it.
And your job is done. Is
not
that beautiful?
Gonna scratch.
Not going to scratch.
It does the job. They last and last and last. They also don't hold odor, and they're dishwasher safe. So if you want to sanitize this, you can. So how many of the
You're getting 8 of these, and you're getting 4 different colors. So 4 colors times 2: the yellow, the green, the blue, and the orange. And again, this was mustard, ketchup, and cheese. No chemical cleaner. You can use a chemically based cleaner with it.
I wonder what the breakdown is of what the retail value of this would be if we were to buy these individually.
It's the clearance price saying that's less than $2 because you're getting per item. You're getting 8 of the sponges, you're getting the Sponge Caddy, and you're getting the Soap Daddy.
Love it. And the Soap Daddy is part of it. I love that Soap Daddy, by the way. It's a great idea.
You can do it 2 ways. In this case, if you have a big pot or a pan, I'm going to take it from the bottom. See the little valve on the bottom? All I'm going to do is there's the camera, I'm going to squeeze it. It gives you a measured amount of soap. Turn it on, and now I can do my dishes using my Sponge Daddy. If you don't want to do that, this is how I use the Soap Daddy at home. I simply tap the top. So I take whatever I have, whether it's a Sponge Daddy, a Scrub Daddy, a Scrub Mommy, I tap the top, and look at that. It gives you a measured amount of soap. That easy, that fast.
The 56693 from Scrub Daddy, from Shark Tank, one of the #1 best-selling products ever. Scrub, flip, wipe, different surfaces now. And when this is gone, this is going to be gone. So 8, 9, 10 pieces all in one. We've never done this before.
Crazy.
Big story. Keep going.
All right, so your typical double-sized sponge, I referenced this before. The problem is this textured side ruins your surfaces. And that's the problem. So you don't have the confidence.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing.
So that's your countertop, whatever. It's your cabinets, it's your pots, your pans. But watch this, the Scrub Daddy material. This is the flex texture material that took off that burned on mess on that glass top stove. Look at this. No matter how hard I try, my friend, it is not going to scratch that surface. But yet, I'm going to put it in some cold water. And now your countertops. We put some mustard, ketchup, and cheese on here. A little bit of cold water firms up that flex texture, allowing you without a chemically based cleaner, just using tap water to scrub, flip, and wipe to take care of it. You didn't have to worry about scratching. You didn't have to use a chemical. And how about stainless steel? Again, because it doesn't scratch, a little bit of cold water firms that up enough to take care of the ice cream maybe that's on the door, the refrigerator door, no problem. Scrapes it away, but it's never going to scratch that surface. Look at that.
Love it. Love it. Hey, best deal ever from Scrub Daddy, the Sponge Daddy.
Yeah.
Sponge Daddy's one of the newest creations, isn't it?
It is, and the reason we created
that's the Scrub Daddy material, right?
This is the Scrub Daddy material that most people are familiar with that changes texture by changing the temperature of the water. So in cold water, it firms up like I showed you to scrub. In warm water, it's going to be soft and compressible. This is super, super absorbent, and it's going to generate suds. I'm going to show you how much suds it generates in just a second. But let's take it to the bathroom. Whether it's the soap scum or the toothpaste splatter, look what a great job it does. Again, I just put a little cold water together. It's breaking down all that mess. I'm going to take my cloth here. And look at that, bringing it back to
600 people
brand
are on
new.
the line right now.
Love it.
3 easy payments of $6.66. Talk about a cleaning solution. So if you're on the line, stay on the line, be 56693. Now we're going into the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Or any tile surface.
You saw the mirror, what a great job it did on that, a tile surface. But what I love is that you're getting into the nooks and crannies, you're getting into the grout lines because you have that flex texture that allows you to pull out the grime, pull out the dirt, and look at that, you're taking care of the tile and the grout all at the same time. And remember, you can use a chemical with it, no problem, but you don't have to. You see how effective it is just with cold water.
You know what I love about Scrub Daddy for myself is the how long they last. How long they last and they don't smell, they don't stink up. So worth it for these guys alone. You get the caddy, that's pretty nifty, but then this is another great idea. All in one, you're going to use them all, so you're getting the soap dispenser, you're getting the Sponge Daddies, and you're getting the Sponge Caddy.
So real quick, the caddy, really ingenious, has 2 little suction cups on it. You simply press it against your sink, and now you have a way to dry your sponges no problem. I talked about how super absorbent these are and how they generate suds. Watch this. I'm going to simply tap the top, get a little bit of soap, and look at this. It is going to generate, we had this independent lab tested, 77% more suds than your typical double-sided sponge. That is that Resifoam that's doing such a fantastic job. But then you have your scrubbing side, right, your flex texture side. Watch this. This is going to take care of taking off the potato peels on the potatoes or the carrot. You got it. There are just so many uses.
Great. Love, love, love. Wrapping this up. Good to have you here, buddy.
Thank you,
Great
my friend.
demos.
Appreciate it.
We got the shark coming up, by the way, next in our spring cleaning solutions idea. But before we do that, we got Chelsea, who's at the Philadelphia Flowers Show. Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea.